IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do.
Fight. Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. Gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy. Can Crawford win a close decision? I could never win a close decision.
Crawford has same, but I just feel that Crawford's ring-eye coordination is better, and he has more fire in the body left.
Lennox Lewis breaks down why Terence Crawford can beat Canelo, stressing that this fight will be won more in the mind than in the body. He points out that Crawford's exceptional boxing IQ, sharp footwork, and ability to adapt mid-fight give him a critical edge. According to Lewis, size won't decide the outcome. Instead, Crawford's tactical brilliance and ring intelligence allow him to neutralize bigger opponents effectively. That's why Lewis strongly believes Crawford has the tools to outthink and outfight Canelo.
He's got incredible talent, incredible IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do to stay at the top and be at the top. He moves very well. He's a very elusive mover, and his work rate is high.
I won't ask you who's going to win the fight, because I know it's a question you've probably been asked a million times, but I will ask you, do you think this fight goes the distance, or do you think this fight ends inside the distance?
Interesting. Really an interesting fight.
Coach Bernie highlights exactly what makes Terence Crawford such a dangerous and unique fighter. In his view, Crawford is not just a sharp puncher, his precision and timing transform every strike into punishing blows that opponents rarely withstand. He stresses that while Canelo Alvarez has an impressive resume, he has never faced someone with Crawford's mix of hand speed, accuracy, and natural punching power. When Bernie says Crawford's hands feel like bricks, he's pointing to the raw strength and impact Crawford carries, even as he moves up in weight.
I mean, a fight is always highly anticipated, and one this magnitude, you know what I'm saying? I think Canelo is hype too, because they know that Bud brings a different element, and the guys that he's been fighting is now superstars. Bud is a superstar. It's a mega fight. It's an underdog fight, and like I said, I'm sure they anticipate, he has trouble with movers and slick boxers and stuff like that, so they're trying to see how he deals with that. Bud fans is understandable. Canelo got the power, he got the experience, and he's one of the faces of boxing, and so it just breeds anticipation. Want to see somebody do something great, and I think that's what everybody mostly counting on. It's a lot of hate though. A lot of people want to see us lose, and the real ones want to see us win. You know what I mean? But all in all,
this matchup has created massive anticipation among fans and the boxing community. Many are eager to see how Canelo, who built his legacy on power, counterpunching, and ring control, will handle someone as elusive and unpredictable as Crawford. Crawford's movement, agility, and tactical sharpness make him a puzzle unlike most of Canelo's previous opponents. He won't stand still, he won't wait to be countered. This is more than just a clash of skills, it's a true battle of styles and reputations. For the first time in years, fans believe Canelo is facing an opponent who challenges him on every level.
Well, Bud Crawford just hits hard anyway. He got fucking bricks for hands, you know what I mean? He got baseball mitts. His hands is as big as a baseball mitt. So, then he's a sharp puncher. So you got to understand that Canelo hasn't fought a sharp puncher. Them guys wasn't sharp punchers. Magia, Berlanga, the guys, they not sharp punchers. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a sharp, it's a difference with the speed and the velocity that they're coming with. You know what I mean? If you can understand that, the quickness of the punches, the sharpness of the punches, these guys, you can see all their punches coming. You ain't gonna be able to see all Bud punches coming. You ain't gonna be able to see his punches coming, for real.
They have like one common opponent, Amir Khan?
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think the difference is? Obviously, you've seen a highlight reel with with Canelo.
Amir Khan, who has fought both men, brings a unique perspective. While he respects Canelo's accomplishments, Khan believes Crawford simply wants this fight more. In his eyes, Crawford's hunger, energy, and sharpness surpass what Canelo can bring at this stage of his career. Canelo, despite his greatness, has endured years of wear and tear at the elite level. Khan sees Crawford as fresher, more determined, and locked in mentally. For Khan, it's not just about skill, it's about who's willing to sacrifice everything to win. Right now, that fighter is Terence Crawford.
Great timing, great feints, moves well, whereas Crawford has the same, but I just feel that Crawford's ring eye coordination is better and he has more fire in the body left. He wants it more, in my opinion. Whereas Canelo in that last fight against the Cuban guy he fought, he just seems to me that that fire has just gone. Like, he was just getting the win and moving around and enjoying himself, which he can do, because at the end of the day, the guy, he's already cemented his legacy, so he can do that. So yeah, I got Crawford winning that fight.
And when you sparred him, when you were in the same camp with Bomac, what was it like? You have any good stories about sparring him since you were an opponent?
See, when I fought him as a fight, I didn't know what to expect. But then obviously, when I sparred with him, I would try different things to really, how would I be able to beat a guy like him? And I was working on different things, and the guy is very tricky. He's a guy that always keeps on adapting your style and also keep getting better and better as the fight goes on. So yeah, he's a very, very good fighter. I do like him because he came to my camp 2-3 times, drove up to spend like 2-3 weeks with me to just give me some advice and be there with me and win with me and train with me. And so yeah, that's why like them little things go a long way for me, and that's why I'll always support him and push.
Trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards offers a reality check. He notes that Canelo sparring with Jaron Ennis is a smart move, but ultimately symbolic. Sparring is not the same as a real fight, it's where fighters test strategies or simulate styles, but it never replicates the intensity and unpredictability of a championship night. Edwards believes Canelo's sparring choice is more about building confidence and sending a message than proving readiness. Crawford's unique skill set cannot be duplicated in sparring. Under the bright lights, with millions watching, it will be a completely different battle.
And then go look like $1 million in the fight. That's why fighters spend the kind of money they spend on sparring partners, because getting the look or stimulating the intensity of how a fight is going to be is how you prepare for a fight. And the most important part of camp is sparring. So it didn't make me say that Canelo was going to win the fight, but it did make me say, damn, he's taking this fight serious, and that's a real good look. I respect the fact that he went out and got the best possible sparring he could find for Crawford to win this fight. I even respect when he did it, because if he would have got Boots early in camp, Boots would have probably beat his butt. You know what I mean? When you first come to camp and you're not sharp. So he got him a few weeks in the camp with maybe, what's how many weeks left for the fight? About 3 weeks left for the fight. This usually your peak time. So he got him about 3 weeks left in the camp so he can handle the work. Because again, you've been up to Philly and you've seen the work. Boots don't have bad days in the gym. He stays in the gym all the time. Yeah. So like, you could just get him off the streets and he'll go 10 or 12 rounds in the gym. He don't have bad days. I'm like, and I'm not just bragging. I'm not bragging about a kid that I don't train or he's not my son. I'm just telling the truth. Like, I haven't seen him have like the off day in the gym in like 10 years. You know how sometimes a guy don't look good and you be like, oh, okay, he not doing his best. He really don't have them days. You know what I mean?
And the crazy part about it is he does more than 3-minute rounds and he never sits down.
The symbolism of sparring Jaron Ennis cannot be ignored. Ennis shares some similarities with Crawford: speed, versatility, and the ability to fight from multiple stances. By training with him, Canelo likely wanted a taste of the unpredictability Crawford brings. However, analysts argue no sparring partner can truly replicate Crawford's timing, rhythm, and adaptability. While Canelo may gain insights and boost his confidence, this experience is more about preparation optics than discovering a winning formula.
Moves, as Canelo's maybe not had as much experience with that since moving to 168. Usually he's the smaller guy fighting some of the bigger guys. But that's not all this is. This is a message that Canelo is looking to replicate exactly what Terence Crawford has in his arsenal, has in his tool set, because everybody has wanted to see the Boots Ennis versus Terence Crawford fight because it's a stylistic matchup that is very interesting. Both guys fight out of both stances. That's right. Boots will fight out of southpaw and orthodox. Both guys are very good using their defense to create offense. Boots, one of the best at Philly shelling, catch countering, being able to do it out of both stances, has a beautiful check hook out of southpaw. As orthodox fighters throw their left hook, he comes over the top with his. And why would Canelo be looking for someone that could throw a beautiful lead hook and a backhand as a counter punch, rolling with their defense back to their offense? Oh wait, because that's what Terence Bud Crawford does so well. Boots is explosive. He's got great counterpunch timing. He's got good awareness. His feet are good. He can walk you onto punches. He can lead the dance going first, not just looking for his counterpunches, but underrated, I think, in his aggression to lead the exchanges. This is a perfect get for Canelo. And I'm not even trying to play the one side or the other. Canelo fans, Crawford fans, you're going to think whatever you want to think. But the reality is, getting this kind of sparring is a massive deal for Canelo. It's going to give him probably the best look you could get for Terence Bud Crawford outside of sparring Terence Bud Crawford. I can't understate how important even just a couple of days working with Jerron Boots Ennis is going to be for Canelo, just to see a bit of the tempo, a bit of that switching of stance, because let's be honest, there's not many guys that Canelo has fought that have fought out of both stances and done it as fluidly as Boots Ennis.
A growing concern for Canelo Alvarez is the noticeable decline in his speed and footwork. Entering his 30s, he has become slower, and against someone as agile as Crawford, this could be a major vulnerability. Canelo has always relied on timing, counterpunching, and cutting off the ring, but if his legs can't keep pace with Crawford's constant angles, he may struggle to land effectively. Analysts warn that relying solely on power won't be enough if positioning fails. This is one of the key tactical risks for Canelo in this fight.
Although he's holding back, you can tell. People are saying his legs, they look slower than usual, and Canelo has always been someone who's always had very slow feet. Even when he was down at 154 pounds. Something that plagued him throughout the course of his career is he's just had very slow feet, you know, like cement sometimes on them. That's one of the weaknesses of Canelo, and obviously now, he's, how old is Canelo? 35 years old, 34, 35. They're gonna be, like, they were slow in your mid-20s. They're definitely gonna be slow now in your mid-30s. Before we follow up on that, just have a look there really, really quickly on screen. Please, if y'all could, hit the like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. It literally takes like 2 seconds. We're only a couple of subs off 26,300. I want to get 30k. Please, if you could help me out, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, Canelo's always had slow feet. But I think this is the bigger, I think a lot of people are more worried about this now because he's going to be in there. Essentially, he's going to be in there against someone who is really, I mean, it's obviously Crawford's last fight was at 154 pounds, but like, he's really a welterweight. You know, he did look a little bit undersized at 154. He's going to look completely undersized at 168. But the size difference, the size, you know, thing out of the equation, the speed difference is going to be vast because Crawford's always had good feet. He's always had fast feet. And if you think Canelo's feet look slow against someone like William Skull, a big, bulky 168-pounder who, at the end of the day, was just running around the ring, he's going to look even slower against Crawford. And a lot of people are saying, just based upon that training footage, oh, it's now a 50-50 fight, you know, I'm running with Terence Crawford, or that's who I'm going to do.
Still, analysts caution that Crawford is stepping into uncharted waters. Moving up in weight to face a naturally bigger and proven fighter like Canelo is no small task. Canelo has dominated in higher divisions, beating champions with strength, size, and durability. His comfort at these weight classes gives him an advantage Crawford hasn't fully tested yet. Crawford's speed, timing, and tactics will all be tested against Canelo's raw power and durability.
This is what scares me going into this Terence Crawford fight. These are the guys Canelo's typically fighting. This is his last opponent, William Skull. William Skull is far from a great opponent. When we're talking about sheer size and strength, Canelo is just way more built and used to taking on larger guys and overpowering them. Look at William Skull. This guy is jacked. He's huge, man. And that makes me think, like, if Canelo has been taking punches from guys like this, I'm not saying William Skull in particular, but guys like William Skull, the size of William Skull, and he's been dropping them, stopping them, beating them around the ring overpowering, over muscling, just everything physically demanding over them. That makes me think, man, Terence Crawford, I don't know what you gonna have to come with some heat, dog. Look at Canelo. This guy is half the size of William Skull. There's nothing cut about him. There's nothing popping out, bulging. There's nothing. Look at this. This is insanity. That's why I'm really like, dude, I don't know. Canelo could go in there and walk through Terence Crawford like a hot knife through butter. That is definitely on the table here. He gonna have to be really crafty, really savvy, and have to put on some amazing work from the outside. If he tries to sit there and walk through Canelo, he gonna hit a brick wall, dog. If guys built like this ain't walking through Canelo, even when Canelo looks like this, Terence Crawford ain't doing it, man. I gotta be.
Boxing, UFC, and Netflix. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez will officially be on September the 13th on Netflix. Now, the reason why this is so interesting is, of course, the UFC, TKO, recently acquired their new strange boxing model with Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White promoting it. And this actually will be on Netflix. So for some context, if you don't know, the UFC are currently under negotiations with a new TV deal. And the rumours for a very long time were that of Netflix. It doesn't look like they're going down that route anymore. Or at least it sounded like Netflix wanted a total package where they would get the major UFC fights and the major boxing fights as well. Or potentially they didn't even want the UFC fights and they just wanted a couple of these sort of events. Regardless, Dana White is officially the promoter for it, which I do believe is still bizarre. I still really think that's super bizarre. And the fact that they have quite opposing views in Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White, to be honest. Not in everything, but in how events are run. Dana White doesn't even like stadiums, first and foremost. Turki Al-Sheikh loves making as big of a splash as he possibly can. As fights go, for the casuals, this one is as good as it gets. It really is. Let me know what you think. As always, keep it casual.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates.